Hello, everybody. The market continues its overall uptrend in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, with it being up for the ninth straight session in a row. The good news is the rest of the market pulled back, and it pulled back on lighter volume. Not only did it do that, but I didn't have too many stocks flag in my personal holdings that I need to look at to see if I need to manage the stops, move them up, or adjust the amount of shares per what level that they're at. And then on top of that, on an end-of-day basis, there were only two 50% sell signals, LMAT, which for me knocks me out of everything, but it's closing higher than my final cut loss level right here. And then also PKG, which is closing below the 20-day moving average and above average volume, allowing us to leave half the position with small gains. Now, it gapped up on me, never pulled back within the allotted amount of time to get an entry, so I don't have a position in PKG. So PKG and LMAT, I am out, but not too bad on a day when the market was up. But getting back to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I just want everybody to notice that the last time that BOP surged, and this is historically, it always happens. If you have Warden Brothers telecharts, you can go back and look at this indicator. Anytime it surges higher, the market doesn't have much room to go, because by the time BOP can start going green, I don't know why on the indexes, it's already been running way too much and way too extended. And once again, you can see super extended from the 200-day moving averages. The max green BOP started coming here, and then we went nowhere December and in January, and it took to February for us to go up again. Now we're moving higher again, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, BOP just surges today with the Dow Jones Industrial Average moving higher. So yes, we can continue higher for a few more sessions, but let's be honest, we're extremely stretched, and my hedges continue to look good. UVXY, VIIX, and TVIX. It doesn't matter which one you have, but they all are still moving up since the entry signal. So leaving all that aside, I have two new long positions and one add position for Thursday session. The first one, high quality CNOB. This is technically a CanSlim quality stock. CNOB has a 91 composite, 83 earnings per share rating, 89 relative strength, A plus group relative strength rating, A sales profit margin, return on equity, B minus accumulation distribution rating. CNOB not only was in my CanSlim scan, but it was confirmed in my price volume BOP scan. Not shown on the chart though, but its RSI indicator is already uptrending. It's got a set of higher highs and higher lows and bouncing off the 50 line as a continuation pattern. And the MACD is curling off recent lows, and it's got a series of higher highs and higher lows. That indicator, along with this BOP increasing right here, is excellent confirmation, the MACD, RSI, and BOP, to the volume surge and price surge today, which also happened to be a pocket pivot point signal. So a lot of great things here, but CNOB is still not a completely safe trade, due to the fact that before I can go to my final loss cutting level, it's going to have a little bit of downside. But the plan is CNOB. Limit order at 25.85, today's high of day, because it's a high quality stock. First cut loss level, today's low is 25, so I believe that's 24.95, because it looks like this is a 5-cent trading stock, unfortunately. And if I remember correctly, as I entered my order tonight, that's what it did. And then also 24.20. So a move below 25, 24.95 I'm out. A move below 24.20, 24.15, I'm completely out of the position. But I'll be using two stops on CNOB. 2% for CanSlim, 1% for being confirmed in price volume BOP, 3% total position of account capital if you have it. I don't. So I got to put in whatever I have in my margin and cash account into this stock. But CNOB, very, very, very nice. And then there's CACB. CACB is an add signal. CACB, where's my ratings? There it is. 95 composite rating, only a 33 EPS, but an 85 relative strength. A plus group relative strength. B sales profit margin, return on equity, A plus accumulation distribution. Huge volume surge today, and another surge in BOP, and that's 3 days in a row. BOP has moved up nicely as this has bounced off its 50-day moving average. A little extended from the 10 and 20-day moving average, but with the 50-day moving average right there, I think it's good to go. So what I want to do is do another add. Remember, it was already an add yesterday after the initial long signal back here. I got knocked out a half of it here. So right here I got knocked out a half. But I would like to rebuy that and then double up my position here. So I believe I have 330 shares. I'm hoping to get it to be 660 shares if I have the amount of capital necessary. CNOB takes priority this evening, then CACB. Or actually CNOB, then the next one I'm going to show, then CACB. So CACB was in my CanSlim scan, my price volume BOP scan, and my green BOP for 20 days scan. Pocket pivot point signal, like I said, huge volume of BOP surge, can't pass on it. So it's 2 for CanSlim and 1 for each scan, 4% since an add, half 2. But for me, 2% of your account capital. But for me, I'm doubling up my position if I can with whatever available capital I have left after getting long CNOB and then Delt, which I'll just go over. But CACB, my limit order will be at 818. My first cut loss level, today's low day, 799. And then it's going to be this surge right here, the pocket pivot point signal, that little blue line you see right there, the low day 778. Now, it's possible that I may give it some leeway if it pulls back on lower volume and keeps the max green bop. We'll see. But for now, that's the plan, 799. 778. And the final long signal tonight is DELT, or this morning for you guys, is DELT. DELT was in both of my bop scans, green bop for 20 days, max green bop for 5 days. Not confirmed anywhere because volume's not above average. But I tried to get long the first Fibonacci retracement line. I don't like the way that they're drawn here on Warden. I use E-Trade Pro and Interactive Brokers for the best looking fib lines. They're both really good on those two platforms. So drawing it from the lows here to the top here, this was the first retracement line. I tried it, it failed. It's now bouncing off the lower one. It's successfully tested that line, has made it back up to right around the 50%. It bounced off the 50% retracement line. It's holding the 50% retracement line, and now it's moving today slightly higher on a slight surge in volume. So you can see, even though it was below average, it ticked up in the session before. So it clearly has a set of short-term higher highs and higher lows. So DELT, I'm going long. Speculative position, a few $1,000s in my account. Limit order, the close, 147. First cut loss area, the recent lows, 125. My final cut loss will be with a move below 114. So 124 hits, I'm out half. 113 hits, I'm out all of it. But I really like DELT's chart pattern. There were a few other patterns that were really nice today. I was considering going long WNEB because it used to be a CanSlim quality stock. It was in, even though it's a pretty, sketchy stock, back in 2015 it was. Haven't updated the scan since there's been no 20% correction. That's the rule. It's triggered, it was good, but it's no longer CanSlim scan. It didn't show up in any other scan except for my tertiary scan, and as you can see here, it's just kind of muddled in the middle of nowhere. But the biggest strike against it was the volume surge wasn't that great, symmetry isn't that great, and the bop surge isn't nearly as high as the previous bop surges. So with the smaller bop surges, it's not good. Just like TEDU, I was thinking of doing this as an add signal since we're at the 50-day moving average, but once again, not perfect, extended from the 10, 20-day moving average. And if you look at this bop level right here, it's slightly lower than here, so not interested. So DELT is a speculative long position. CNOB is the high quality position, and CACB is the high quality add signal. It's just not perfect. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the chat room this morning, or I'll see you back here in the video lesson on Friday or Saturday. No video lesson on Thursday. Aloha.